Hi, I'm Kate Snow. Welcome to the Addition Facts That Stick mini course. I'm so glad you're joining me. This week you'll focus on teaching your child the +1 and the +2 addition facts. So that's just 1 + 1 up to 1 + 9 and 2 + 1 up to 2 + 9. Your child might already know these facts pretty well, but I really encourage you not to skip the lesson, and that's for two reasons. First of all, when you're starting a new program, it's always nice to have something kind of easy and familiar, just to get used to the format and how the program's structured. But second of all, you'll be using these facts to introduce the 10 frame to your child this week. We'll be using the 10 frame throughout the course, so it's real important that your child become familiar with it this week. Since the 10 frame is going to be so important, let's take a closer look at it. The 10 frame isn't anything complicated. It's just this grid of 10 squares with a dark line in the middle. The beauty of the 10 frame is that it allows your child to visualize numbers and reason about them mentally. With a little practice with the 10 frame, your child won't need to count on her fingers or to count out a pile of blocks or counters or pennies to figure out the addition facts. Instead, she'll be able to picture the numbers in her head and then quickly figure out the sums using those mental pictures. After that, it's just a short jump to become totally fluent with the facts and know them absolutely automatically. Now, you might be wondering why we use the 10 frame at all. Why don't we just encourage kids to picture piles of blocks? For example, if a child's adding 9 + 4, why don't we just say, imagine 9 blocks and then imagine 4 blocks more. How many do you have? The reason is that we can't imagine more than 5 blocks or so at a time unless they're organized in some way. Our brains just can't do it. Our working memory can't keep more than 5 things straight at a time. And so we need to organize things in a way so that we're able to visualize them. This is similar to what we do with our phone numbers or social security numbers. We group the digits into smaller chunks, right? And then we remember each chunk separately because it's easier than remembering every single digit individually. So let me show you an example of this so you can experience it for yourself. I'm going to just briefly show you a card with a couple of dots on it. And I'd like you to see if you can tell right away how many dots there are. And see if you can visualize the dots once the card is gone. So here's your first card. You ready? With this one, you probably know right away that it's 2 dots. And if you close your eyes for a second, it's pretty easy to see those 2 dots in your head. Let's do another one. So this one, you probably could tell pretty easily as well. It's 4 dots, and you can probably in your head picture those 4 dots all in a row, just like that. But now I'm going to do one that's a little bit harder. Get ready for this one. Okay, do you know how many dots there are? Can you picture how many dots were on that card? I'm betting you probably can't. You probably have a pretty good estimate. You probably know there's more than 5, less than 10, but probably aren't entirely sure how many exactly there were on that card. And unless you have an extraordinary visual memory, I'm sure that you are not able to visualize that card exactly. You probably can't reproduce it in your mental memory right now. So this card did actually have 8 dots, but let's take a look at what these same 8 dots look like if we put them on a 10 frame. So here they are in the 10 frame. And you can see it's a lot easier to tell. We have a row of 5 over here and another group of 3 over here. The 10 frame is allowing us to break them up into 2 chunks, just like we remember our phone numbers in 2 chunks. And so now try closing your eyes for a second and see if you can picture these 8 dots. I bet you can see the 5 dots on one side, the 3 dots on the other. And now it's not so hard to visualize 8 dots. And it's a lot easier than when you had a card like this to visualize. You'll be using the 10 frame this week to teach your child the +1 and the +2 addition facts. Next week, we'll move on to the pairs of numbers that make 10. I hope you have a great week teaching your child the +1 and +2 facts. Have a great week and happy math.